Hi, thanks for joining us for another vid. In this vid, we felt compelled to sort of touch on letting go, the need to detach from your current life as a means to smoothly facilitate the transition into your ideal paradigm or your ideal timeline, right? How important is it to completely sever yourself from your past life? What does that mean to us? And how do we recognize its effects? How does it work per se? And what resistances or pushback you tend to face when you do decide to completely walk away from your current paradigm into your ideal timeline. So this is where I would insert my intro. So again, thanks for joining us for another video. If you don't follow me, I'll have to work on an intro. That's my next project. So yeah, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you probably should. I kind of share a lot of my experiences over there too. They kind of coincide, so that would it'll give you a better understanding of things if you follow kind of cross-platform the two, right? Recently on Twitter, I shared a video of a project I'm currently doing downtown for a buddy, and it required and it's like an 8 foot tall space I'm working in, right? And it's a painting job. I need to paint the ceiling, and I needed an 8 foot pole to get the ceiling done, which I don't have, which I did own before. But in transitioning, as part of my transition, I needed to decide what I'm going to take with me and what I needed to leave back, right? So I downsized a lot of shit. I got rid of a lot of shit to facilitate this move. I couldn't keep much, right? I could have decided if I want to store things, but I felt like to a great degree, like holding on to a lot of shit, like just keep hoarding shit. Stuff holds energy, right? And I feel like a lot of energy would be stored in a lot of shit. If I could have got rid of every single thing I own, just burn everything and move on, I would have. Because everything you own over time, especially in the spaces you keep them, everything gathers energy and everything retains energy. Inanimate objects keep energy also, right? Matilda and those fucking freaky doll movies, them shits are no joke, right? So I didn't decide to store much. I just got rid of whatever I didn't want to keep. And along some of the things I did decide to keep, like a lot of my tools were some of the things, because I didn't want to like continue full time in my construction field, although I'm really good at it. But I only saw it as a means to seed money towards kicking off this new aspect of things, right? It's tools I, again, like I said, I love working with my hands. I love working for myself. I could build my own house from the ground up, and that is something I'm very proud of as a fucking man to say, right? So I don't have a problem working with my hands or doing construction. It's just I don't really enjoy working for people. That's the thing, right? So I can't see it as a full-time field or really fulfilling field per se, but then I will use it as seed money and use my skills to get what I want to get done in this maze. So that's my view on that. That's all I'm saying about that. Like, if your ass want to work, fuck it, don't work. That's my business. Do whatever you have to do to get it done. Get your seed money. That's your perspective. Excuse me. Um, yeah, but so I'm doing this job downtown, and like I said, I needed a pole. I got rid of my pole, right? I didn't worry about. I was to a degree sort of worried about where would I get a pole. I'm pretty sure I would have needed one, but I wasn't concerned, right? And I think that's a big aspect of letting go. But we'll get back to that, right? I wasn't concerned, and it came to the point where now in the first instance where I actually needed a pole to get a job done, it's the I was in a situation where I'm down there and I'm trying to clear up stuff to prep the place, and I'm trying to get a wire out of the ceiling and trying to pull the wire out of the ceiling. The wire is caught and tangled up on something, right? And it would budge. When I open up another hatch to try to open up, to try to like see what is preventing the wire from coming out, I realized the wire is caught on a pole. It's tied on a pin pole, an 8-foot pin pole, the exact pole I need to get the job done. It's just right there. And a lot of things like this happen in my life right now, facilitating to like smoothly facilitate. Once I'm walking on the course that I need to go, like the right doors just open. A buddy of mine just mentioned also to me, it's like it's all also about the energy you put out there, right? If you've really focused and you have that one track mind and set on what is it you want, you're not second guessing yourself, you're not being deterred or swayed by any outside influences or outside elements, the universe now responds to that, and the universe now provides everything you would need to continue on that path. Once you on your path that it supports you on, right? And a lot of things happen like this for me in my life right now. Like I almost move through life where almost like I don't need money to a certain degree, because I think the final exchange between energy is between like it's money, but then money goes through the final exchange point of money as energy is through humans, right? We decide and give money its value. We're the ones who give money its power and its authority, right? And I've been able to see how a lot of things could bypass the need for money. A small example would be like this morning I'm going to get the public transit and I couldn't get a bus for quite a minute. When finally a bus did pull up, the driver, it was an out of service bus, but the driver still decides to stop and offer me a ride to the subway station. Get to the subway station, the attendants, both attendants, decided it's like the perfect time. They're going to go out for a smoke and I could just have a free pass up inside, right? They're like, whatever. And I end up getting a free ride, a free pass up in there. A lot of other things just happen. Like there's a lot of things like I don't want to really talk about like a lot of like what's going on in my life to a certain degree anymore. I think it's moving forward. It will be prudent of me, way more prudent of me, to kind of not divulge things until they actually come to fruition versus in the planning stage. But a lot of other things are happening the same way. Like doors are just opening, being that I'm just like one track and focus on set, right? So that is one of the primary reasons I think I truly believe like you should really have your one track mind and fully try to detach yourself from the idea of what you thought was key, or the only thing you thought was capable of you doing, if it is what you're doing right now, your current job or whatever, and you feel called to do something else and you still feel like, oh, it'll be so hard to start, or it'll be hard to let this go, or how do I even start? Or even if you like stay in your job for a few and you know, start on your something, whatever you want to do, having that one track mind and really being set that, okay, I'm only going to do this for a few, but really and truly this is what I want to get done, and the universe will just facilitate the means to get to that point. The other thing I notice is that you also need to have that, be really grounded in what you want, because you will also get tested. Not only will you get tested in the energy of the trial energy, is what I call it. The trial energy not only manifests in experiences and circumstances that try you, like they kind of push you to the limit to see how much do you really want this. Like, will you bend, will you break, will you fold, will you say, bro, fuck it, I cannot do this no more, like I need to get like 3-4 jobs and dedicate all my time to just like fucking just work. Just I need to just get back into the fucking groove of things and fuck that, right? Um, it manifests itself as that self-doubt and everything, and it also manifests itself in the same way money manifests, that you could circumvent and bypass the need for money by just recognizing favor from people. um I recognize the opposite can happen, whereas that the machinations of things could also manifest through people. Like, let's say they call it, you some people have called it like the Agent Smith effect or whatnot, where you would encounter a lot of pushback from the people that currently exist in your current paradigm, the people that currently know this version of you. When you start presenting and showing up as this new version of yourself, speaking about these new aspirations, these new desires and dreams for yourself, like spurring yourself onto this new timeline, you get a lot of pushback, especially from your loved ones in your current paradigm who are not familiar, and they would tend to I specify it here because I at times you could almost see past the individual to when the energy stream of the machine takes effect and fully encompasses them. You could almost feel it, and you get a lot of pushback in the sense of like, be more, if you choose to like start this new career or start going down this new course of re-educating yourself, or anything like that. Excuse me. You'll get a lot of pushback in the sense of like, be more realistic, and maybe you should get like something else and not get too caught up in that dream. Or you'll just get a lot of your family telling you basically that you should probably like do something that would be more productive per se and whatnot, right? And if you're not firmly grounded in yourself, you kind of get caught up in that. So it's either you be firmly grounded in yourself and be able to push through that, even if you have to go through it through a transitionary phase. But in the end, one of the biggest, again, the strongest weapon you have against counteracting that per se is to fully detach from your current paradigm. Like, just fully move away. I'm still in my same community and my same city, and I'm still in touch with at least maybe 2 or 3 of my friends per se, and I still get like a balance of support and like a dose of reality per se, call it that. But you almost have to be like borderline delusional, right, to go after your dreams per se. And it takes strength to actually stay firm and believe in what you believe in, and to see past just the individual and see past your loved ones. If you do choose to stay in your current paradigm, you need to be able to take strength from that, because the threads that bind you to your loved ones is some of the strongest influential friends, if not the strongest influential thread on this plane and the ones beyond it or above it per se. Because if you're a strong affirmer in reincarnation, the threads that bind you to your loved ones is what is primarily used to lure you back into the machine, right? And that is also what is used to kind of keep you in your comfort zone or lure you back into your current paradigm when you're actually trying to make that shift. That's what the machine itself uses. When you're actually about to make that shift and you have like absolutely no compromise, you have this one track mind and you're grounded that this is what you want and you're going for it and this is just the direction. The machine will use those threads and those binds to your loved ones, your family, your friends, to try to keep you in that same state, right? And it will also even go far sometimes to even create circumstances and situations that will be comfortable for you to stay in that situation if you do not make up your mind to fully transition, right? So while it might help you to go through the transitionary phase, you still need to recognize it as just assistance through the transitionary phase and still keep your one track mind, because you still have to be grateful for everything that's the opportunities that the universe still presents you, right? Because even me in my circumstances, I'm grateful that I haven't had to face a lot of the things I thought I would have to face thus far. Is beyond unbelievable, right? And I'm grateful and I'm open to everything that comes my way, while also reminding myself that I cannot fall back into the comfort zone and just fall back into the cycle of things. So I'm still a bit selective as to what I accept and what I let in to my paradigm as I switch. But I'm also very grateful for the way things are happening. I still don't know if I'm gonna fully detach from, like, let's say, move away from my city as yet. I really feel that I need to eventually. But again, one thing at a time and one phase at a time, we'll share the inspiration for that if it does come up eventually. But yeah, so far, these are just like the few of the little challenges and the optimistic aspects of me, like, letting go. It does feel lonely per se, and a lot aspects of this has been like alone for a long time, right? um like, you need to create a whole new circle for yourself, and your tribe per se, and people that resonate on the same um frequency as you, people that you can actually be your full and authentic self and not have to compromise no aspect of yourself to fit in. Really important. So just being confident overall that once you do decide to not compromise and fully commit yourself to this course that you chose to be able to switch, to be able to transition, and that you'll be supported on it. Like, I'm gonna tell you, it's like every time you walk and you feel like you're right at the edge and you're not gonna go any further, something comes up. When you feel you're about to take that step off the edge, something comes up, and it's always better than you expected, right? So at least you take the confidence. This coincides and ties into everything I believe in. I really believe, like, way more of us need to start doing, and so many people actually do anyway. Who am I to even speak about it? But then way more people should really start doing what this, like, if you're the weirdos and the odd ones, this is the things, like genuine videos like this, like stuff like that. I would actually just sit and just listen to you talk about how you experience reality and your point of view and perspective on things. I would literally just listen to that, right? I think we need to have an expansion of ideas, sort as this, um, to facilitate an expansion in consciousness and expansion in conscious thinking. I think the current state of thinking and the paradigm of ideas, which have been stagnated by, like, the scientific model of everything without the consideration of the etheric aspect, the fifth element. And I think that has really stagnated the discourse around the reality, consciousness, not even consciousness, just reality and the workings of things, right? So I think way more of us need to start speaking about like our weird ideas and our weird views and how we perceive things on reality. So a big part of it is being able to detach from the current system, not really giving two hoots what anybody have to say about it, and speaking up, finding the courage, do the work it needs to take to get to that space where you actually feel the strength to be able to do this, and speak up, man. Like, I want to hear it, right? And it it's really great to see, like, a lot of people over time able to actually earn a living from just this alone, which I think is like the truest definition of life, where you could basically just live off of just be expressing your truest self. So again, like I said, the goal is not just money, but the goal is also like primarily autonomy and self sovereignty, right? Um, I think the truest expression of ourselves comes forth when we're existing in a state of true autonomy and true self sovereignty. I think that's the reflection, the purest reflection of um, heaven per se, as experience and a vibration versus what we're taught to believe. And I believe it's a state you also can achieve without the material aspect, but the material aspect is it's a it's a valid reflection. It's not the only reflection, because you have a lot of the greatest spiritualists to ever walk the path, and they chose a different aspect, a different representation, and a different reflection. And there's also the material aspect and the self-sovereignty and the self-reliance, right? Somebody like me per se, it's not even about achieving. You would never fucking ever see me in a bloody, like, there's just certain expressions of wealth that's just not for me per se, right? You would never see certain expressions of wealth from me, but I truly believe that we do reach a higher state of expression when we're not preoccupied with the entrappings, and we're free. We have like full autonomy and full self-sovereignty from the trappings of the world. And the greatest entrapment we tend to encounter is finances, right? So again, that's like the driving force behind what we're trying to do here. Just like focus on detaching and plugging. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us for this video, and we hope something we shared here would give you the confidence to keep on your journey. This is just like us. This is like the start of it. It's like our second video, right? So if you end up coming back to this video, it's like maybe 3 years, 5 years down the line, you see us at the end of the video, see us come out on the other side. We hope this helps. We hope everything we shared there like kind of resonated with you in some way. If you did, like, subscribe. We don't know what's coming up on the next video. Remember, follow us over on Twitter. And once again, thank you for joining us for Unplugged as we unplug.